is, how many of us really believe or truly accept the fact that this is a Savior's Day, and all of us tomorrow, if you tune in and listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we're going to be given our marching orders so that we can fulfill our role as Savior. Now, that's what I want to say. I was talking to my brother Brian X. I was in Detroit or in Michigan, and he told me, he said, brother, we're in #1 Michigan. And I said, okay, brother. He told me over and over again we was in #1 Michigan. And he kept on saying, do you know what that means, brother? We're in #1 Michigan. And while we was in #1 Michigan, me, Brian, Brother Martin, and a few other brothers, we was actually doing some work for some Scientologists in #1 Michigan. Now, don't go tell nobody. This is a secret between me and everybody else who's listening, that we were sent to do some work with the Scientologists in Michigan. He said, brother, do you know what this means? I said, no, brother, what's that? He said, Master Farad Muhammad was produced by a white woman that was cleaned up by Alfonso. I said, yes, sir. That white woman, after she was cleaned up by Alfonso, who represents the original man or Allah in person, gave birth to a son named Master Farad Muhammad, who was commissioned to save us all. I said, yes, sir. He said, well, brother, can't you see that the history is repeating itself? And I said, brother, what do you mean by that? And the brother Brian X told me, he said, brother, look at the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan Alfonso. And look at, I'm about to drop some heavy stuff on y'all from the brother. This ain't mine. This is from the brother. He said, brother, look at the Scientologists as Baby G. They have to be cleaned up. And so what we have is a marriage that's taking place between the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan and the Dianetics, Scientology. That if we do it right and we follow instructions and we take things serious, the baby should be another Master Farad Muhammad. That's us. And we now, though we was born with ruler potential, though we were born with a God nature, we have to follow instructions and we have to gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in a serious way, in a very serious way, in order to be prepared, cultivated, and nurtured into doing the work that Master Farad Muhammad raised us to do. Now, in the instruction to the laborers, it says, you all get busy and arise or raise up the dead by the thousands. Now, that hasn't been done since the first term examination of 3.5 years. Ain't nobody been raised by the thousands. There was 25,000 raised in the first 3 years between #1 Michigan, #2 Chicago, and #3 Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ain't nobody raised the dead by the thousands since then. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad did it. Ministers brought millions. But how many of us since 1995 have brought in 3 or 4 guests and raised them up? And he says big fields will await the wide awoke Muslim to work out in, or the wide awoke man to work out in. Well, here's my question. If we ain't in no fields, baby, it's because we ain't wide awake. You can tell we ain't wide awake because we in the mosque arguing and fussing and fighting over 4 primary laborer positions. The mosque is too little for us to work out in. We need big fields. Why do you think that Master Farad Muhammad gave us the measurement of the earth, 196,940,000 square miles? Why did Master Farad Muhammad tell us that the righteous now must take back the earth? Because the enemy is living in every part of the planet Earth. Therefore, the enemy must be removed now from every part of the planet Earth. And what's the base of our work today? The basis of our work today is lesson number 1. Now, how do we know that lesson number 1 in the base of our work if we do not study and memorize by heart all answers 2 of lesson number 1? But why is stress made to the Muslims to copy the minister Elijah Muhammad's answer. See, we have been called to do a mighty work, and the wheat is being separated from the tare. The tare are those individuals who want to play with Muhammad, who want to play with Farrakhan, who want to play with the Nation of Islam, who want to play with Savior's Day, but they don't want to get busy. So the question becomes, who's going to stand up and be the savior that's going to do the work that Master Farad Muhammad came to make us do? That's the question. You and I learn our lessons by heart, then all of us are ignorant. All of us are falling short of what we're supposed to be doing. We better hurry up and learn these lessons by heart, because it's going to qualify us for a position that is waiting for us. See, if you have your foundation, Dianetics is not going to sway you. How do I know? Because I'm studying Dianetics. See, I got some books and some wisdom on Dianetics that y'all ain't got, because y'all don't know, by the grace of Allah, me and Brother Martin and a few other brothers was blessed to go to #1 Michigan, and we've been working with the Scientologists for over a month now. Now, that's a little secret between me and whoever's listening. This is a mighty day that we live in, and y'all can play with this if you want to. And I love the listeners, and I want y'all's support. But if you fake and frail and false and bullshit, I don't want you with me. I'm with Allah. I'm with Farrakhan.